guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do kind of a hybrid video because I want to talk about some news, but I also kind of want to slip into a case. So we're going to be reading the article that's titled Netflix doc Don't Fuck with Cats will tell the sick, twisted story of Luka Magnotta. I'm assuming you read it the Italian way. I'm just going to refer to him as Luke because I don't like the idea of butchering names. In that way you can understand that I'm informing you that a Netflix doc is coming out, but we're also going to talk about the case so you know what the doc entails. I really enjoy documentaries as long as they're not glorifying a murderer or making them seem like they're geniuses when a lot of them aren't geniuses. So hopefully they'll be tasteful about it. We'll see what happens. Let's get into the video. Luke suffocated 2 kittens, drowned another in his bathtub, and fed a 4th to a Burmese python. Then he moved on to bigger targets. Netflix's upcoming documentary, Don't Fuck with Cats, Hunting an Internet Killer, is going to make your skin crawl. The film, set to drop on December 18th, follows the stomach-turning story of the Canadian animal abuser turned murderer Luke. Wait, in the title they spelled it Luke. And then down here it's Luka. I thought it was Luka. Starting with a viral clip of himself suffocating 2 kittens with plastic bags and a vacuum, Luka embarked a series of increasingly twisted publicity stunts, culminating with him hacking up a bound sex partner on camera, then mailing the body parts to elementary schools and political institutions. Luka, born Eric Clinton Newman of Scarborough, Ontario, had his first run-in with law in 2004 when he scammed $10,000 off a mentally handicapped woman he'd befriended by applying for credit cards in her name, Rolling Stone reports. As if this had to be said, this guy is a piece of shit. Murderers generally, I think it's quite easy to say, not great people. However, there is a special place in hell for people who take advantage of other people, and specifically taking advantage of handicapped people and elderly people. Elderly people hits a soft spot with me because I know someone tried to do that to my grandpa, and no sir, that makes me mad to this day, even though it was a decade ago. So that pisses me off. Just that. Even if he'd just done that thing, no. Luka began his career in the adult entertainment industry around the same time. At 21, he began stripping at a Toronto nightclub and acting in low-budget gay porn, according to the magazine. He would later earn extra cash as a male escort, charging $50 a day on a Rent Boys website, according to the Toronto Sun. Luka was obsessed with the way people saw him. He loved doing modeling work, according to the Canadian magazine Maclean's. A self-described cosmetic surgery addict, he auditioned in 2008 for the Slice Network program Plastic Makes Perfect, Canada's Global News reports. So I actually found footage of Luka in an audition for a documentary. I'm gonna put a little bit of it here just so you can see his mannerisms, his face, kind of just have a picture in your head because I always find that useful. Nothing gory, just literally him. That's it.
Hi, how are you? My name's Luka, and I don't live on the 2nd floor.
Okay, so that's obscure.
No, Susan Vega.
My name is Luka. I live on the 2nd floor, you know. I live on the 10th floor.
Even though it's obviously self-obvious, but would you mention something about bisexuality in your intro to her?
Mention something about bisexuality?
Yeah, my name is Luka. I'm checking
I'm a
out
bisexual.
bisexuality. Or
I'm a bisexual.
Okay. Clearly here.
Alright, yeah, definitely. Let's just relax it up a bit.
I've had my nose done, I've had 2 hair implants like I said before, and I'm planning on having muscle implants in my pecs and my arms, a 25-year-old Luka told the show's producers. But Luka's fixation on image wasn't limited to his body. He wanted to be famous. He posted long, rambling blog posts about himself on numerous sites, likely inventing a persistent rumor that he had a romantic past with the serial killer Karla Homolka, according to Maclean's. In total, he created at least 20 websites devoted to himself, Rolling Stone reports. From what I can gather, like you guys know, I don't like diagnosing anyone with anything, but it does seem like he is very self-obsessed between the vanity aspect of all these surgeries and then the making of these websites. Now, I have nothing against cosmetic surgery. If you want to do that, but we also have to address the fact that there is a point when it becomes unhealthy. Anything that's past moderation becomes unhealthy. So if he'd gotten a couple surgeries, okay, whatever, but all of the things put together between the wanting of the surgeries, the wanting of people talking to him, the bringing attention to himself in a very strange way. I don't know who would really kind of brag about dating a serial killer. Like, that's 99% likely to not be true. But at the same time, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of people who make up shit about themselves that's really dark and sad so they sound interesting when the thing actually didn't happen to them. Have you known people like that? I know people who just love putting tragedy on themselves, and it's very strange. But rumors and phony fan pages can only go so far, and Luka soon began taking more creative measures to boost his own fame. On December 21st, 2010, a video with the title "One Boy, Two Kittens" appeared on YouTube. In it, a man with an obscured face can be seen placing kittens inside a vacuum-sealed bag, then turning on the vacuum to suffocate them. The National Post, a Canadian newspaper, reports. A subsequent video shows the man rubbing the kittens' dead bodies against his genitals. The clip struck a nerve and sparked deep outrage, with dozens of internet users joining forces in hopes of tracing the kitten killer, according to Rolling Stone. Over the coming months, Luka continued to post videos of himself killing cats, according to the National Post. In one, he feeds a 4-month-old kitten to a Burmese python. In another, he tapes a kitten to a broom handle and drowns it in his bathtub. How did people around him not know any of this? I'm curious. Or did they know and just not want to say anything because they were scared? I'm just so... With the amount of things people upload to YouTube, it'd be hard to find someone if they don't go by their name and you don't know about it. But at the same time, it's so weird to me that people didn't know after the first thing. But then again, it's understandable that they wouldn't know. Needless to say, this shit is disgusting and honestly nauseating. Where would you also find a Burmese python? Like, did he find a reptile zoo that had one to feed? Like, I'm confused as to, you don't just see one roaming about and be like, hey, here's a kitten. Very strange. Like, the level of premeditation is also concerning to me. The ways that he chose to kill these kittens is so cruel because it's torturous, like drowning. The last moments of life are terrible. Burmese python, I don't know how fast that would go, but nonetheless, last moments of life, terrible. The vacuum sealed bag, they're all very cruel. None of these were ever humane, and of course he's killing kittens, so how could it really be humane? But it just has a very aggressive nature to it, in my opinion. Finally, in 2012, journalists from the British publication The Sun tracked down Luka in London. After they asked him about his alleged animal cruelty, Luka sent a letter. "In the near future, you'll be hearing from me again," Luka wrote, according to the National Post. "This time, however, the victims won't be small animals. I will, however, send you a copy of the new video I'm going to be making. You see, killing is different than smoking. With smoking, you can actually quit. Once you kill and taste blood, it's impossible to stop." On the night of May 24th, 2012, Concordia University student Lin Jun responded to a Craigslist ad Luka had placed for a man who wanted to engage in bondage, according to the Montreal Gazette. The next day, a 10-minute video titled "One Lunatic, One Ice Pick" appeared online. In it, a man in a hoodie straddles the nude, bound body of Lin. Lin's throat has already been slit, but the man is repeatedly stabbing Lin's chest and thighs with an ice pick, while "True Faith" by the New Order plays in the background. The man dismembers the body and gets a dog to lick at the wounds, according to ocanada.com, a Canadian news source. Authorities reported that a longer version of the video also included acts of cannibalism, according to Rolling Stone.
After mutilating
Lin's body, Luka mailed body parts to institutions across Canada. He mailed a hand and foot to 2 Vancouver elementary schools and the other hand and foot to Canada's Liberal and Conservative parties, according to the Canadian newspaper The Star. Lin's rotting torso was found in a Montreal dumpster and his head in a public park, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, a Canadian news outlet, reports. An international manhunt began for Luka, who was ultimately arrested in Germany while Googling news stories about himself, the Star reports. Luka was sentenced to a life in prison with possibility of parole after 25 years. I have to say, there's a weird poetic justice about the fact that he got busted while he was Googling himself. Like, obviously this person was obsessed with himself. It satisfies me to know that he's thrown behind bars, though that doesn't undo his crimes. Hopefully Lin's family can get some kind of peace at least about that, but I mean, how could you ever get over something like that? The thing that really strikes me about this killer is just how willing he was to be talked about. Like, it didn't matter in what context he was being talked about, as long as he was being talked about, obviously to different degrees, right? Because I see some people on YouTube who don't think bad publicity exists. You know, that's not at the same degree, but it really shocks me the degree to which he didn't care as long as people talked about him. So like even if it was about murder or killing animals, that was worth it. And part of me wonders if it's not because he wasn't succeeding in his designated careers, maybe, because I wouldn't understand. Like if he had been famous, would he still have killed? Who knows? But at the same time, all of this seems behind the chase for fame or for notoriety, so who knows? I genuinely am so disgusted by this story. That being said, I do want to watch the documentary when it comes out because I do think it's interesting and informative to watch. And it says that it's gonna start streaming on Netflix on December 18th if you guys are interested. And there's a trailer out. I'll link that down below if you want to watch it. Anyways, guys, let me know what your theories about his reasons for it were. I think the celebrity one that I mentioned is the most obvious one. Maybe you guys have more nuanced ones. Let me know. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and let's get right into the fan art.